Hi guys. So tonight I was challenged by my friend Sarah to talk about why, even though by just about any metric, this world and the United States is a safer place than it's ever been, but there's much more fear and much more media attention given to violent crimes. And actually, that raised an interesting question. Now, my initial thought was that when when something horrific happens, um, even if it's uncommon, it gets put out there, and it gets put out there not just during the incident, but we talk about it for a long time afterwards. For example, the San Bernardino shootings or the Orlando shootings; those were, to be fair, one day and one incident, but so much happened as a result of that. It felt like we were still talking about it by the time the next incident came along. So it was like one right after the other. Um, Another idea is that even though these crimes are less frequent, when they do happen, then it becomes more shocking because we thought we'd been getting better about this, and then oops, we forget about something, and it surprises us. Another thought that I had was that it's possibly the effect that, like, when you buy a new car or your friend buys a new car, you're more likely to start noticing more of these cars on the road. This happened with me and my wife when I bought a Honda Fit. We started noticing Fit everywhere. Not that there were more Honda Fits, just that we were more attuned to seeing it. So maybe this is one of those things too, where we hear about an incident like Ferguson, and then we start to look up uh, uh, police violence and police brutality, and then we just become more attuned to seeing it when it comes up in the news later. Who knows? Um, and the other thing, and I didn't know how to phrase this, so maybe you guys can help me with this. Maybe people want to be scared. People want to be afraid of something. People want an enemy. People want a source that we can point to and say, this is the greatest threat to our way of life, regardless of whether or not it actually is. Depending on what kind of information you get and who you want to get it from and who you believe. Um, Terrorist attacks by foreign nationals are responsible for such few deaths in the United States that it is a marvel that we look at it as or we treat it as seriously as it is, instead of looking at other things which are actually much more dangerous in our everyday lives. When we think about how many people are, for example, accidentally shot by firearms that they own, not even maliciously, just accidentally, or how likely you are to die in an accident involving water. Drownings are much more frequent than shootings, but we don't tend to think of drownings as something that we need to leap out and prevent the way we think of gun violence as something we have to prevent. Um, but I'm curious as to what you guys think. Those are my ideas for why violence seems like it's more widespread, even though it's really not. Um, but maybe you guys can shed some light on this and why you think that even though violent crime in the United States is per capita is down, and you can look up the stats from that if you choose to believe the stats from the Department of Justice. Um, Terrorist attacks around the world are down when you compare it to the 80s, um, uh, when we had other terrorist threats that we don't even think of as terrorist threats today, like the IRA or uh, Slobodan Milosevic and other incidents like that we don't have to deal with today. Maybe we just forgot that the world was a much more dangerous place. Maybe it's also that we feel safer, and so therefore any incident that comes up is seen as that much more shocking. So go ahead and comment to me or make a video of your own. Let me know what you guys think is the reason why, even though by all statistical measures we're safer than we ever have been, but we still feel like we're in more danger than ever. Until tomorrow, have a good night.